The cafeteria was buzzing with the usual lunchtime chaos. Trays clattering, laughter echoing, the low hum of hundreds of conversations blending into one restless roar. But at one corner table, Emma sat alone, eating slowly, trying to keep her head down. She had transferred to Westbrook High only a month ago after her parents' divorce, and she wasn't exactly eager to make new friends. Quiet, reserved, and bookish, she didn't fit the mold of the loud, fearless students that seemed to own the lunchroom. She knew about the boys who hung around the vending machines. Everyone did. They were trouble. The kind that always seemed to escape real punishment because of their charm or their parents' influence. Emma had avoided them so far, but fate had a cruel way of throwing people into the very situations they feared. It started when she felt a shadow fall over her table. She didn't even need to look up to know they were standing there. 3 of them, grinning, leaning in too close. At first, it was small talk laced with mockery. They teased her clothes, her quiet nature, the way she sat alone. She tried to ignore them, focusing on her sandwich. But then, one of them leaned over and in one swift, humiliating move, reached behind her and snapped the strap of her bra. The sound wasn't loud, but the reaction was immediate. Gasps, stifled laughter, and phones lifting into the air. Someone was recording. Emma froze, her cheeks burning as she clutched her sweater tight around her shoulders. She wanted to vanish, but instead she stood up. Her voice trembled, but it carried across the nearby tables. "Don't ever touch me again." The bullies laughed it off, pretending it was just a joke. But the eyes of the cafeteria were on them now, and the principal, Mrs. Hawthorne, had stepped into the doorway. She didn't yell, didn't cause a scene. She simply ordered them to her office. Emma followed, still shaking. In the principal's office, the boys denied everything. They smirked, shrugged, and played innocent. Emma felt her stomach sink. Without proof, it would be their word against hers. That's when a quiet voice came from the doorway, a sophomore named Lily holding up her phone. "I have the video." The clip was only a few seconds long, but it was crystal clear. The bully's hand, the snap of the strap, Emma's startled flinch, and the laughter around her. Mrs. Hawthorne's expression hardened. She called the school resource officer. What followed was something no one at Westbrook High expected. The boys weren't just suspended. Because of the clear, recorded evidence and the fact that Emma was a minor, the incident was classified as sexual harassment and assault. Charges were filed. Court dates were set. The video spread online, sparking outrage far beyond the school walls. Emma's challenges didn't end there. Some students whispered that she had ruined their lives by not keeping quiet. Others treated her like she was fragile, as if speaking to her might break her. But Emma learned something about herself in those weeks, that courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet refusal to let someone else define your worth. In court, she had to testify. Her voice shook, her hands trembled, but she told the truth. The boys avoided eye contact, their swagger gone. When the verdict came, guilty on charges of harassment, Emma felt a weight lift. They were sentenced to probation, community service, and mandatory counseling, but the record would follow them for years. By the end of the school year, Emma wasn't the same girl who had eaten alone in the corner of the cafeteria. She joined the debate team, spoke at an anti-bullying assembly, and even started a small peer support group for students who had been harassed. The group grew faster than she imagined, because the truth was, so many students had their own stories, but they'd been too afraid to tell them. The message she left them with was simple: your voice is your power. If they try to take it from you, speak louder. After the court case, Emma thought things would quiet down, but reality was more complicated. Westbrook High was divided. Some saw her as a hero, others as a troublemaker. The bullies' close friends avoided her, muttering insults under their breath when she passed. A few even posted vague messages online, calling her a liar, even though the video was undeniable. It would have been easy for Emma to retreat back into herself, to eat lunch alone again and keep her head down. But instead, she decided to do something she never would have imagined in her first month at the school. She fought back, not with fists or anger, but with action. She began volunteering at the school library after classes, helping younger students with homework. She joined a small photography club, using the camera as a way to capture moments of kindness around the school. A hand helping someone pick up dropped books, friends laughing over lunch, a teacher staying late to explain an assignment. She posted them on a bulletin board titled, This is Westbrook High 2, reminding everyone that the school was more than just its worst moments. Still, the hardest part was walking into the cafeteria again. The first time she did, Trace went silent for a moment. She could feel dozens of eyes on her. Her heart pounded, but she kept walking until she reached a table where Lily, the girl who had recorded the video, was sitting. Emma smiled and asked, "Mind if I join you?" Lily grinned. "Only if you like terrible jokes and too much chocolate pudding." That moment was small, but it changed everything. Soon, Emma wasn't just sitting with Lily. She was sitting with other friends too. The cafeteria that had once felt like a battlefield began to feel a little more like neutral ground. A few months later, during the school's Respect Week, Mrs. Hawthorne approached Emma with an idea. Would she share her story on stage? At first, Emma hesitated. Standing in front of the entire school, including people who had doubted her, sounded terrifying. But then she remembered the girl she had been before the incident, the one who thought staying quiet would keep her safe. She couldn't go back to that.